second use case that we see new teams gravitating towards on GitClear is accelerating developer onboarding. This was actually the original use case for why we built GitClear, was because we wanted to understand a developer's strengths without having to wait 6 months of gradually reviewing progress. Knowing whether a developer is getting up to speed is usually one of the most time-intensive undertakings that a manager or lead developer is going to undertake, because it's normal that every developer is going to be slow when they first join a project, and it's very subtle and difficult to disambiguate between that normal ramp-up slowness and a prolonged ramp-up slowness that would suggest that a conversation might be useful. What I'm showing here is an example of a remote developer that we hired for one of our projects a few months ago. Through the commit activity browser, we could see that he wasn't making many commits, but it wasn't until we visited the cohort report that we confirmed that the developer was not keeping pace with the past hires that we made. And in this case, we had a conversation with the developer where he actually admitted that he hadn't been working the hours he billed us, which is a very rare case. The much more common case is that developers start slow because it's hard to set up their development environment, or there are high barriers to entry for a pull request, or maybe the documentation is lacking. Whatever the impediment is, the more you use the cohort report, the more you can dial in the experience of a new developer to ensure that their onboarding is smooth enough for them to start making commits on day one. Incidentally, one of the fastest ways to get a developer up to speed is to give them access to GitClear, because that allows them to review the work of their peers through the commit activity browser to get a sense for the code style, and they can use the directory browser to find their way to the directories in which work has been happening lately.